I read the fine print on Guitar Center's revolutionary guitar. You should too buy B.R. Wilson Guitars and Cigars. There's a certain kind of announcement that drifts through the guitar world every few years. You can almost smell it before you read it. Big language, bigger promises, a whiff of disruption. Like somebody just discovered the instrument last Tuesday and decided the rest of us have been doing it wrong since 1954. This time it's Guitar Center stepping up to the mic. CEO Gabe Del Porto is out there talking about a revolutionary guitar built from the ground up, with input from the people who actually play the damn things. Guitars haven't changed in 50 years, he says, and now they're going to change. That. All right, sure. Look, on the surface, it's hard to argue with the premise. Guitar players have opinions. Endless ones. Ask what frustrates us and you'll get a laundry list that starts with tuning stability and ends somewhere around, why does this still weigh as much as a boat anchor? There's truth in there. Trem systems can still be a fight. Electronics are, in a lot of cases, stuck in a different decade. Ergonomics depend heavily on which dead guy you're trying to sound like. So yeah, opening the floor, asking players what they actually want, that's not a bad instinct. On paper, in a clean little lab somewhere where everything behaves, it's probably the right move. Sounds democratic, sounds smart, feels like progress, but we don't live in that version of the world. We live in the real one. The one where Guitar Center has been around long enough that most of us don't need the brochure anymore, we've already read it. We know what they are, how they operate, where the priorities tend to land when things get tight or complicated. That context, it doesn't disappear just because the pitch got shinier. This is not a boutique builder chasing tone like it's religion. This is a big box retailer that has spent years moving inventory, pushing house brands and hitting price points. Mitchell, Rogue, Laguna. Those weren't accidents. They were business decisions. Functional, affordable, sometimes decent, rarely inspiring. They filled racks. They didn't rewrite history. So when that same machine says it's about to build the best guitar ever made, you don't jump up and salute. You kind of lean back a little. Maybe squint, see where the wires are. Then there's this whole, we're building it with you angle, which sounds great right up until you realize what with you actually means in practice. They've spun up a community, they're asking for ideas, designs, feedback, the whole thing. Over on our Guitar Lab, you've already got the usual mix, some genuinely thoughtful ideas, some wild borderline sci-fi nonsense, a few guys who just want a Strat that stays in tune, God bless them. Buried underneath all that enthusiasm is the part that doesn't get the same spotlight. You submit an idea, a design, a clever little fix you've been thinking about for 10 years, and it's theirs, fully. No compensation, no credit, no, hey, nice job. Just sign here, thanks for playing. Now, legally that's standard. Corporations don't like surprises. But culturally it's a little off. The whole pitch is collaboration, community, building something together. The paperwork says otherwise. Feels less like a jam session. More like you're handing over your riffs and they're keeping the publishing. Then there's the design by committee problem, which never really gets solved because people keep pretending it's not a problem. You let enough players into the room and you don't get a vision. You get a heap. Not even a clean one either. More like a workbench at 2 a.m. after 3 quick ideas turned into 20. One guy's pushing modular pickups like we're swapping Lego bricks. Another wants onboard effects because apparently pedals are too much cardio. And somewhere in the back there's a purist demanding it look like 1962 while feeling like it just got back from 3022 with a software update pending. Individually? Sure. Some of it even makes sense. All at once? That's where it starts to wobble. Stack enough of those good ideas together and you're not designing an instrument anymore. You're assembling a compromise with a strap. Button. Starts to drift into that Homer Simpson car territory. Everything included, nothing resolved, and somehow still missing the point. The guitars that actually stuck, the ones we're still chasing, didn't come out of a committee. They came out of somebody saying, this is what it is, and having the nerve to leave it there. Imperfect, sure, but coherent. There's a difference. So what does this become? If we're being honest, probably not the revolution it's being sold as. More likely you end up with a decent, mid-priced instrument with a couple modern tweaks, built to hit a number that makes sense on a showroom floor. Maybe it plays well. Maybe it solves 1 or 2 real problems. That would be a win, frankly. Most working players don't need a spaceship. They need something that stays in tune and doesn't fight them for 2 hours. Worst case, it turns into another line that tries to do too much, lands in that weird middle ground, and quietly disappears when the next idea comes along. We've seen that movie before, couple times. The bigger issue is this notion that the guitar is somehow overdue for a total reinvention. It sounds good in a pitch meeting. In reality, the instrument isn't broken. A great guitar from 50, 60 years ago still holds up today. Plug it in, it works, it sings, it does the job. That's not stagnation. That's a design that figured itself out early and has been refining around the edges ever since. Innovation in this space tends to be quiet. Better materials, more stable hardware, small ergonomic shifts that you feel more than you notice. The loud, sweeping, "we're changing everything" moments usually end up being remembered as curiosities, if they're remembered at all. None of this means Guitar Center shouldn't try. More ideas are good. More competition is good. If they magically stumbled onto something genuinely useful, something that truly makes a player's life easier without overcomplicating it, that's a net serious win. No argument there. But let's keep this grounded. This isn't some grassroots uprising of players reshaping the instrument. It's a retailer looking to stay relevant, generate engagement, and maybe build a new product line with a built-in audience. There's a business case here, and it's not exactly hiding. If you're thinking this is going to be the next Strat, the next Les Paul, the thing that resets the whole board, I don't know. Maybe keep your expectations where you keep your lighter. Close but not too close. Smoke long. Play loud. Live well.